Hey everyone! Before we start this week's episode, gotta let you know a little secret. So, you may notice throughout this podcast we say it's called the Kill Your Landlords podcast. Now that's not true, because it was called the Kill Your Landlords podcast, and then we uploaded it to YouTube, and YouTube said, no, you're not doing that. That's violent. We don't want any landlords to be killed. So we had to change it, and we changed it to the Rent Boys podcast. Hence why the channel's called the Rent Boys. It's called the Rent Boys podcast, but we will say Kill Your Landlords throughout the first few episodes because we filmed them before the name was changed. So, just letting you know, complete transparency, it's the Rent Boys podcast, which I think is much more family friendly. Enjoy.
Kill the landlords. Kill your landlord. Don't really kill your landlord, because that's murder and that's illegal. The final jingle is not going to be like that, but that's just what we're doing now. I connected my phone. I think it was pretty cool. Okay? You couldn't hear the beat, but it was sick. Welcome to the Kill Your Landlord podcast with me, Alex Camp, and then, of course, Dom Hatton-Woods and Ethan Smith. And we live together for our sins, and we talk about it. That's all this is, okay? Don't get it twisted. That's all it is. Hello to the TikTok over there. Yeah, dirty little scoundrels. And you can't see it. It's sitting on a chair. It's sitting on an office chair.
Very high
The
tech.
phone. This is what we do here. Not enough tripods. So, you boys.
Hey.
You boys. How's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm
got some hair on your mic there, mate.
Ooh.
That's one of mine, it looks like. A ginger one.
Hello.
Get out!
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Oh, God, we're really cooking now, aren't we? I'm doing well, says Dom Hatton-Woods, the professional stand-up comedian.
It's been a good week.
Yeah. What have you done this week that's so good?
Well, actually, fuck all. But I've been to...
I thought you were going to stand up for yourself there. And be like, oh, well, actually, Alex, I've done a whole lot of cool stuff.
Well, I haven't really done it. I've done one gig, two left. Been going to uni.
That's impressive, by the way.
No, I haven't missed a lecture yet.
That's incredible.
That is good, yeah. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
I used to have a 9:30 lecture on Fridays in uni, and I barely went to it. When I went to it, it had beanbag chairs. It was creative writing. So they had beanbag chairs. So I'd go in. I used to DJ Thursday nights, right? Because I'm a cool, nice, fun guy. And I'd go in. If I could make it into the lecture, I'd just sit on the beanbag chair. I'm like, just like coming down massively.
You'd just be so fucked.
They were like, Alex!
DJ must have been quite a cool thing to do when you were younger.
Well, it's a younger man's game.
Yeah.
The fact I still do it now is pretty mad. I think any DJ over 40, unless you're like a dance legend, then
Like Fisher.
it's
80s,
questionable. You know what I mean?
Fisher 40?
Who's Fisher?
Boy Slim.
Losing it. Fisher. You know, the big DJ Fisher. Do you know who Fisher is?
How big?
I don't know
Huge.
anybody.
What,
Australian
like
guy.
8 foot tall?
No, like famous.
Imagine if he was just really big.
Yeah.
It's a huge man. Fisher, I've never heard of him. Fisher. Yeah, I'm going to go watch Fisher down at the Melbourne Dance Arena, mate.
Can't believe you don't know who Fisher is. I'm going to play
No,
it
I
for
don't
you
know who
after
Fisher
this.
is. I don't know anybody is. I went to... Have you heard of Tiesto?
Yeah.
So I went to a festival with my mates in America, Coachella, 2007.
Did you go to Coachella?
Yeah, I went to
That's
Coachella.
fucking cool.
Yeah, in 2K7
Do
when
you think
you were
that's
but
cool?
a baby.
That was, it's okay.
That's amazing.
It's a good festival. We went because Rage Against the Machine were playing. It's the first time they got back together after 6 years or 7 years or something. And we went there and we were looking at the program, and there was all the nights, obviously, on the Saturday night, there was Red Hot Chili Peppers were in the kind of headline spot. And on the Saturday night, there was an extra later spot, which was Tiesto. And this was before you could really get Google on your phone properly. And we were in the States and we didn't have like data.
Right.
So we were like, Tiesto? Who's Tiesto? And like everyone else was like Bjork, Rage Against the Machine, you know, all these bands. We'd heard of all these bands. It wasn't really like DJs or anything. And who's Tiesto? Who do you reckon it is? And we decided, this is how stoned we were and how little information we had. We were like, Tiesto's probably the Police have reformed. and that's the name that they've gone by. Because if you know about the Police, they had these weird, like, kind of Spanish like names for like Regata de Blanc and Zenyatta Mondata and these kind of foreign names for their albums early on. Yeah, well, Roxanne that was probably the least foreign thing that they had, really. And we were like, okay, Tiesto must be the Police under a special name. It's a surprise act. And we literally went up to some American and they were like, do you know who Tiesto is? They're like, he's the DJ. Shut up. Yeah. Just idiots, complete idiots of dance music.
Did you go and watch?
No, just we fucked off straight away. Red Hot Chili Peppers wasn't even that good. Do you know what I mean?
Shit.
I got disappointed. I got let down by it.
Where was Coachella? Where in America is it?
It's in no, it's not, but it is in the desert in California.
Oh, right, okay.
It's called the Empire Polo Fields in Indio, California. So it's about 2 hours north of LA on the way to Palm Springs.
That must have been a cool experience.
You know what? It seemed like such a cool experience, and we managed to make it so uncool. Like, I went with all my mates. We were like 21, 22.
Is it not super expensive?
Well, so it was expensive, but at the time, our mate, a mate of mine's dad is a pilot. He was a Concorde pilot for British Airways, so it was a big deal, and he managed to get us all direct flights to LA, and I think it was like 350 quid each.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like, bear in mind, this is like April, May, so it's not high, it's not like peak time. And this was like, economy, normal, and we all lived we were close to the airport where I come from, so it was easy, right? We went there, long flight, 12, 13 hours, really long flight. Got pissed, obviously, hammered, and went there and got there and then stood in immigration for like 3 hours and just sobered up, and we were like, what's going on? Saw Tommy Lee, the drummer from Motley Crue, at the airport.
Wow.
In the Mercedes.
He was on his way to Coachella.
He was just there.
Oh wow.
He was just there.
Big cock.
Yeah, massive.
Have you seen that film, the Motley Crue film?
Yeah, of course.
Good,
Have you read the book?
No,
I didn't think so.
Is that interesting?
Yeah, it's really
I
good.
should read that.
If you like party stories, it's great. It's one of the best ones ever. So we stopped in LA for a night, and we went out for drinks and stuff. And the next day we drove there, and we were camping. And what we didn't realize, because in Britain you camp at festivals. That's what you do in Europe. There, everybody else was staying at a hotel. All the local people were staying at a hotel. Wow. So the campsite was tiny compared to the festival. Festival was big. The campsite was fuck all, and everyone was just squatting it down. And every time we turned up, every day, dirtier, more disheveled, smelling, not really showering that much, blah, 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 eating like breakfast burritos. And the people who go to that festival are beautiful. Yeah. Like, I've never seen so many beautiful women in one space in one time in my whole life. And I guarantee I probably never will again. It was insane. And they all stay in hotels and villas and, like, I guess Airbnbs, maybe not at the time, but they're all staying off site, getting fresh, dressed up, showered, made up, everything tanned, everyone's tanned. And there's me and my mates. It's April, May, so we haven't seen any sun yet. We're all completely pasty, stoned off our nut, and it is so hot because it's in the desert that you can't just walk around in clothes. So we were just walking around like this,
Did you
lumbering from place to place, trying to find shade, smoke another spliff, find some more shade, like try and watch a band, and it's just like, oh, look at that girl, she's amazing.
Did you do any drugs apart from weed?
Yeah,
we
did some really dodgy pills, which was like a weird experience because I remember just like looking around for drugs, and it was so hard to find them there because they searched us. We had to put all of our weed like up our ass cracks basically. So you had to really stuff it up there,
Pouch.
Where did you get the weed from? America?
We bought it in the campsite outside, so there was people who had weed, right? Like it wasn't legal at that time, but still it was like pretty common. But actually getting like anything else was hard work. And people had these pills and we were like, these don't look right. There was something weird with them. So we did them. I still don't know what they were. But one minute I'm watching Bjork. I'm like, oh, well, this is great. And the next minute I come to and it's like 2 a.m. and I'm getting like manhandled up against this wire fence by like the security guy. And he's just like, what are you doing here? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know, mate. I'm fucked. And that's how it went, really. It was just a lot of that. And it was really fun, but like it wasn't a proper festival.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Well, yeah, I think it's more for, they take a lot of Instagram pictures. It's very like...
Isn't there loads of famous
attracts
people?
lots of influencers, yeah. But as well, you got to take the right drugs for the right situation. You can't go in... You got to be prepared, Otherwise, you're not going to be on the same level as everybody else, I think. I took cocaine at a festival, and that's not the right drug for a festival. That's to, like, talk to people and stuff, If everyone's dancing around you and you're just kind of like... and, like, staring at people and sweating, it's not...
So where do you think you should take cocaine?
I think you should take cocaine in a kitchen, in someone's house.
I mean, that's
and you should shut all the windows, and you should probably do push-up contests.
No, I'm going to stop you there. But that is the kind of thing you would do.
Yeah, someone always ends up doing push-ups on cocaine.
Okay,
one guy,
it's true.
He like takes the top off and does it.
And it's you.
It's me. It's always me.
That's you. That's why you're in good shape because That's the.
You've got to counteract the drugs.
Yeah, that's it.
To be fair, I have a lot of cocaine. People I've seen that do a lot of cocaine are in great shape because they don't eat much.
I think.
I disagree entirely.
Well, I say that I met one guy that was.
You do get different ones.
Yeah.
I think it depends how much.
You also get fat cocaine people.
You do,
like a lot,
because they don't eat for like a whole night and a whole day afterwards. And then suddenly, because if you don't do it like every day, all of a sudden you're suddenly like, I'm so hungry. And you just go and get like the biggest possible meal you can.
Kebab.
Yeah.
Kebab.
And it bloats you up. And also you drink more. You end up drinking loads. If you're the kind of person who drinks when you're on it, you're going to drink and drink and drink and drink.
Calories.
So if you're drinking beers or like high calorie booze, that's going to mess you up. I think I think the skinny thing is like it's kind of not a misnomer, but it's like an urban legend.
Yeah, it's an 80s myth, isn't it?
Yeah.
I personally think cocaine's a terrible drug. And I've never had a really good time on cocaine.
It's not for having a good time.
Because the thing is, you've got to take it. You've got to take it. Oh no, I have had one good time. Me and my mate Toby, we did ketamine in a club.
Well,
But it was awful, and we were so tired. And then we bought a gram of cocaine off this guy in the smoking area, and then we were like, we can't bother to go back and forth the toilet. It was just in like a normal club, Oceana in Southampton. So
That's not normal.
What?
It's not a normal
So we
club.
just racked the whole. We just put the whole thing on our phone and did half a line each.
Right,
Wow.
That's one way to do it.
And then I was sweating. So we were watching the Stick Men. No, Lethal Bizzle was there.
Lethal Bizzle.
Yeah. Lethal Bizzle was there. And we were just going, covered in sweat. And then I took this girl home, and that I was seeing at the time, and it was a terrible experience for her, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Oh.
Dripping on her.
Dripping on her, yeah.
Just being near you at that point.
I was just fucked.
I'd hate to see you
On drugs.
under
I thought you were going to end that sentence there.
I'd hate to see you again.
That's why I don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't either.
I do.
You don't really do hard drugs, though.
Not often, but if there is hard drugs, I'll do them.
We've probably been reported on TikTok now, haven't we?
Nah, fuck it.
We'll see. It's educational.
Say my profile.
Yeah.
Matter.
It's all right. They wouldn't dare cancel you.
Yeah.
You got too many followers.
Yeah, mate. I've actually lost followers on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't been posting. An Instagram guy now. That's interesting. You went to Coachella. I didn't know that. I always find something interesting about you. But I suppose you've lived a long life.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not so much I've done interesting things. I've just done a lot of things. But Coachella was all right, but I don't know if I'd go back. And the problem was we weren't primed for it because it was early days of Coachella. And also, it really goes to show how little knowledge you have of stuff like that. Like we just saw, right, Rage are playing this festival.
Yeah.
We're going to go. And it was more about how do we get there and get tickets and all that rather than
adventure.
like, what are we going to wear?
Rage
How
good.
are we going to do whatever? Yeah, they were great. They were awesome. It was really cool.
I think that's a very British thing, though, as well. We're more into the journey than the destination, I think. Like, we watch kind of British TV shows and stuff like that. They did one about Spike Island, and it was all about getting to Spike Island. I don't even think they even went to the gig in the movie. They just stayed outside the gig and had a great time. And I think that's a very British thing to do, is to, like, just enjoy yourself along the way, and just maybe it's actually quite...
Have you seen the
altruistic.
documentary about that festival in America that was like done twice. First time it was a huge success. Second time it was
you're
awful.
talking about Woodstock.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
I have.
It's good, isn't it?
Yes. And you know, I remember when Woodstock 99 happened, and it was like, and especially afterwards, people were like, oh, it was a bit bad. You know, there was a bit like...
Well, a few people died.
Yeah, there was some stuff about, oh, there were riots and all this happened.
Well, they got the
I had no idea how bad it was at all. Like, I don't know if the documentary made it worse, but it was like just screwed from the start. Like, loads of people were starving, didn't have any water, and like, you know.
And also they got the Hell's Angels to do the security there.
Oh, did they?
Which they're not known for being amicable, are they?
Yeah.
Did they, or is that
I don't
Altamont
remember
you're
that.
talking about?
Could be
Maybe they
else.
did.
I'm pretty
Maybe
sure
it was
Woodstock,
both.
though. I think it was Woodstock.
But they said the turning point was
The
one
rates.
band.
No, are you thinking about? You're thinking of 60s.
It could have been the first one.
So you're thinking of Altamont.
Is that
Altamont
different?
was a different one. The Rolling Stones played. It was like,
yeah.
it was a festival, but it was more just like the Rolling Stones headlined this festival. They got the Hell's Angels to do security. They killed a bunch of people, and it was just savage. Yeah, they were like, oh, who'd be good for security? I've got some big lads. Yeah, Hell's Angels. Yeah, they sound like a.
Everybody's tripping and
Yeah.
And the Rolling Stones didn't get like in trouble for that.
Well, no, it was before cancellation.
No, I don't think you can like murder by music.
That sounds like a great album, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Paint It Black's playing, I might murder some people. Do you know what I mean? Do, 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 do. You know what I mean? I'll paint
is
them
an
black. I'll
aggressive
murder
song.
them up.
But there was in that I can't remember what the band were, but there was one band in that Woodstock where they went really mad, and everyone was like, "Oh, it was their fault because they got the audience so riled up," and they were just like, "We just did our job.
Yeah,
we just
so
did a good performance."
we're talking about Woodstock '99, and you're either talking about Korn or Limp Bizkit.
Corn.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Korn?
Yeah, and they were saying it was like the
pretty
best set they've ever
hardcore.
had,
Yeah.
and then they were like, "Oh, that was too much," and they were like, "We just did our job. Fuck you. We
Yeah.
just did a great performance."
I mean, they're just a nuts band, and they were so popular at the time. They were huge.
Yeah.
Well, they were coming up, actually. They weren't at their peak, but like...
And I think it was Fatboy Slim was on when it was all kicking off, and they were like, just carry on.
Yeah.
And people were like, being
Yeah, that's
killed.
bad, because that's when the chick got abused, right?
Yeah, in the van or something. There was a van driving through.
Yeah,
She
this
was
van driving through. Like, that's so mad to be like, surely someone's like, check out what's going on in that van quick.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
But why was it on the move?
I don't know, maybe he was like,
There
booked
was-
to
it
do
would've
the
been
plumbing or
parked there,
something.
and the guy just said, come into my van or something.
Well, that's fun.
Pedos get everywhere, don't they? In the wait, I just go to this gig and pick up some people,
Yeah.
waving some sweets out the back.
Literally picked them up.
Can you get in the van? The van, get in.
So, house sharing.
Well,
Van sharing.
I tell you what, you're the worst at segues ever. They're so abrupt.
Yeah, they are.
Could have just softly kind of gone into it, and
Yeah, I'm sorry.
it's okay. We'll work on it.
You didn't like that act out of me trying
Well, I
to get
just thought
someone
it
in
was
the
getting
van.
a bit much.
Yeah, it was in poor taste. It was in poor taste.
It was
for
important.
sure.
Do you want to apologise to the people?
I am going to take this moment to apologise to everyone out there for saying that Fatboy Slim's pedo van gig was funny, because it is, but I shouldn't have said that. So house sharing. What have I got to say this week? Let me see.
Well, the Wi-Fi's down.
The Wi-Fi's
That's an
been
issue.
down.
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot more.
Oh, good.
No, not really.
I've read for the first time in probably years.
Yeah.
Years this week.
What'd you read?
I
Back of the cereal box?
No, it was like how to do stand-up comedy book.
The book he showed you.
Some interesting.
Oh, well, yeah,
stuff.
I remember seeing the book. Yeah.
Some modern theory of humor, very intellectually
Can you give me a tip?
diverse. So there was a section I was reading today, and it was about a French philosopher called something, and it really takes the fun out of comedy, doesn't it? Studying it, and he was talking about how spontaneity can kind of create an air of like I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a fucking clue.
I mean, you lost me at spontaneity, which
I read it.
That was the least
page 3
spontaneous.
times. I even read it to Dom to see if he knew what was going on. He didn't care.
I just thought it was.
I love how you've like, oh, this passage is a little bit intellectually challenging. Dom.
Anyway,
I just said, just keep doing gigs, man.
yeah.
I don't know why you're reading.
I love it. I love the idea that Ethan's like, I don't understand this bit. Then he just sees the stairs and he's like, I'm gonna have to go and ask Alex. Who goes there? Alex, I have something for you to read. I need you to
Please,
go away. That sounds it sounds rough. I've never read a book about the actual learning to do stand up. I've refused to be taught.
Maybe you should.
I've refused to exactly. You've seen my early attempts at stand up. It's taken me a long time to get even to the point of being able to write any kind of joke.
That was so enjoyable.
I just want it to be so difficult for myself.
Yeah. So yeah, the Wi-Fi is down. Hopefully getting that tomorrow. So that's good. Hopefully with unrestricted access.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I imagine it will be unrestricted. I mean, we could always switch it off. You could just, all you need to do is call Virgin Media and say, can you switch and turn the porn on?
And that would have been embarrassing.
Oh yeah, so it's because a woman who lived here before has the details for I actually do have the login details, so I could have done it myself.
Why didn't you do it?
Fuck,
Because I was fine. I didn't particularly feel the need to do it.
I've been having to go on Reddit. There's some dodgy shit on there.
Well, yeah, but
Watching some weird ass porn.
sometimes you got to test it out.
I haven't been watching porn, which has been a good thing for me because when I lived in my previous house, I was watching so much and it was like just not healthy, is it?
So, are you saying that if we get unrestricted internet access in this
I'm
house,
gonna be locked in my room.
you'll be gone?
Yeah.
You'll be out of this living room.
Yeah.
You won't be there sitting here all day like this.
Yeah. Ethan,
Just watching
This
the worst
pillow's-
shows you can find.
This pillow started to smell a bit like Dom.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. Quick, unrestrict the internet now. Let the porn flow.
Now.
He seemed just disappear upstairs and
Yeah, fuck the podcast.
I mean, you seem to have not let the lack of Wi-Fi disturb you from watching, normal rated digital shows and content. You seem you're like dedicated to streaming off your phone now.
Yeah. Well, I can. I've got unlimited data, so
alright, don't rub it in.
Tether in.
living the life, man.
Some of us have 10 gigabytes.
10.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm on pay as you go at the moment. I lost my old phone and I was on a contract
yeah.
which my uncle was paying. I don't want to contact him because I think I owe him money. He'll probably see this.
Right. So your uncle's been paying for a contract.
Yeah.
And you're no longer accessing the contract because you lost the phone,
Yeah.
and you don't want to speak to your uncle because
Well, so he's paying for no reason.
Yeah.
You should speak to him.
you're going to owe him even more money after that.
Yeah.
Well, save an awkward conversation though, eh?
Yeah.
How much is it a month?
It was £50.
Yeah, you should speak to him.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you telling him to speak to his uncle for?
Well, it's just the right thing to do.
Though, but so the thing is,
What do you mean the right thing
Isn't
to
it?
do.
That's the right thing to do.
You don't know anything.
I do.
well, let me explain. Let me explain a little bit more. So me and my uncle used to work together on the trees. I used to be a tree surgeon, and we had a bit of an explosive relationship. By that he used to throw things at me while I was up the tree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and one day he hit me with an oil can. And oil cans are big and heavy. Douche got me with it.
A big oil can.
Yeah, with a big oil
Like
can.
a homeless person would gather around.
Yeah, no, more like it's like
like a jerry can.
Yeah, like a jerry can.
Petrol can, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, got me with it. And,
Yeah.
Did you fall off?
There was a fight that was happening. I was on the ground at this point.
Oh.
We were in the thing, and we had a bit of a fight. And then after that, we had another couple fights.
Sorry. So we had a fight, and then after that, another fight, and then following that, a couple more fights.
Would he do that just for a laugh? Or stuff at you?
No, he was actually. So I was like I was afraid of being up the tree like a lot. Like I cry a lot up there. And his response was like, do better or I'll punch the fuck out of you.
Old school.
Yeah, and then one day he even climbed a tree to come and fight me up the tree, and I was like, "This is crazy. This is too much." I thought I was safe up there.
Yeah.
Turns out you're not.
Shame there was no HR department.
He'll get right up the tree. No, there weren't even any kind of health and safety. I think that's why I cut my finger off.
It's growing back though.
It's got
It's growing
there.
back. As if it grows. It grows like.
I've got another year or so. You'll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fucked forever.
So we got the complaints.
Well, I've got to say, right, last night you said you were going to play UFC on the PlayStation, and I was like going to bed,
Yeah.
and I mean, I didn't go to sleep. I watched Casino, but
James Bond.
no, it's Casino Royale.
Ah.
This is Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. And,
Any good?
Sharon Stone. Yeah, it's good. It's basically just Goodfellas again,
Oh,
essentially. Which it's not as good as Goodfellas, but it's
bad fellas.
it's largely the same. What did you say? Bad fellas.
Yeah.
I thought you said something else, but I'm not going to say that.
I want to know what it was.
I went up. I said, "Hey, don't next time when you knock someone out in the game, don't be like ah."
You did say that.
and you. I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't hear you once.
I thought you were going to say you did then.
No,
You didn't knock anybody out. That's what happened.
it was just a really boring and
Yeah.
disappointing session of UFC. That's why.
For Dom.
So you didn't. So I mean, I'm happy with that. Unless I was so engrossed in the film.
I was shocked to see you were still up.
The light on, yeah.
Yeah.
I was shocked at that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Scorsese film. I watched the first half of it earlier in the day, and I was like, "Oh, I'll watch the rest." I'd already watched an hour and a half of it, and it's obviously 3 hours long because it's a Martin Scorsese film. And the other thing is, right, the problem is you can't watch DVDs now, right, because they look awful. Like on that telly through the PlayStation 4, right, not even the most up-to-date setup, but it's a 4K telly. The DVD's letterboxed, so massive, thick black edge around it, so it's way smaller, and you can still see all the lines and like all that kind of thing. I'm like gutted. I mean, it's fine. I watched it, but
Nostalgia. It's not Blu-ray experience though.
no,
is it?
man, you got to get Blu-rays these days.
Yeah, it's a lot.
DVDs don't last.
When
I'd rather
did you
watch a
buy this
VHS.
DVD?
It was just knocking about.
Oh, fine.
It's not mine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd never bought a DVD in my life.
How have we got so much random stuff here that nobody owns?
Well, to be fair, I brought that with me. It was just like at my old house.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So it technically is mine.
Yeah.
But I didn't go out buying it. I didn't go like, oh yeah, what DVD shall I buy? Oh, Casino.
Yeah.
I think what we should discuss is my fight curse still hasn't gone away.
What do you mean? The fact
My
that you keep
curse
losing?
of my like real life getting into
Oh right,
fights.
okay. So yeah, so basically we had a thing on Sunday, where a man
At a
turned
show.
up to the show with a few of his friends. They were ruffians.
Scoundrels.
Yeah, and they were being a bit belligerent. They obviously had taken some illicit substances. They were a bit rowdy, and they was talking through the show. It was quite disruptive. They got asked to leave, and they decided not to leave, and instead start a fist fight in the middle of the show, just before Dom went on to open the show.
Yeah. You wanted silence, but you got violence.
We got, yeah, great. Yeah, it was horrible. It was fun actually though. I enjoyed it. We had luckily in the crowd we had an MMA fighter,
Massive guy.
who
I've
kind
heard
of helped people
this guy
back.
keeps getting bigger and more skilled every
He's-
time I hear about
so
him.
big. Well, his nickname's Bear.
We had Liam Neeson in the crowd.
His name's Bear.
He's 8 foot tall. He's 500
He was
pounds.
huge. He was a big guy.
He's an MMA fighter.
He was big.
He crushes rocks for a living. Like I've heard all these stories about him.
I
Like,
put my hand on his back and it was like patting a brick wall. It was
yeah.
and then I stroked it a little bit essentially.
But yeah, so basically,
I weren't a threat.
the last 2 weeks, fights have been chasing me around, man. So I don't know
Absolutely.
if this is ever going to end.
I don't know. Yeah, but it doesn't make. But also, you've been running away from the fights.
Well, I
time.
never escalate them. I try.
No,
and-
I think that's the right thing to do as well. But maybe the problem is you need to you need to be in the fight,
and then the curse will leave you.
Yeah, the curse will leave.
Not escalating them is a nice, real fancy way of saying pussy and out.
Yeah, that is a good way. You got on that stage so quickly.
That's very
You
funny.
don't usually have such a good way with words, Don, but you've really...
And I think what you've got to remember is I had a great set.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it was actually probably one of the best shows I've ever done.
Yeah, it was a good show.
I
'Cause
keep hearing this.
fights seem
I
to
wasn't there.
galvanise. You said violence galvanised. Everyone felt like
Yeah.
they were a team.
Yeah.
Because it was really tepid at the start, and then they really got loud.
Mm-hmm,
They were like, "Oh, this is going to be a good time."
yeah. Second half was awesome.
Great man.
There's never a fight at a show when I'm performing or when I'm there.
Because you're always the one that starts the fight.
I think you're a
Actually, that would
calm
make
presence.
sense.
You're a calm presence.
Yeah, that's it. No one
You
wants
know.
to fuck around with an old sea dogs
That's
in the
it.
room.
And they're almost like a fatherly figure.
Yeah.
It's like, I wouldn't act a fool in front of, you've got them eyes, which, because I was a bit scared before I moved here, because you've got eyes that look through you kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's no messing about with these eyes, with them eyes there.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're just
Um,
doing the wrong gigs.
I was like, what if I'm late with the water bill? He's not going to take any messing about, is he? Look at them eyes.
Yeah.
All these theatres, you need to get back into the pubs, mate.
Daddy's home.
Yeah.
Back into the pubs.
Yeah, you're doing too well. I think maybe the heating. You had some stuff to say about the heating.
I want to go on record to say I was too stingy about the heating.
Oh,
Okay.
wow! Look at that.
Ethan really wanted to put the heating on, partly to dry his clothes.
And you were like, no.
I'd say, large portion of that's drying your clothes, right?
Yeah.
You want the clothes dry.
It was
your
actually
clothes.
the only reason I wanted the heating on. I can wear a jumper. I'm a reasonable person.
You sometimes just got to put the heating on. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we're paying a flat rate for this heating, and they keep us scared. They're like, well, we might put it up.
This is what
we
it
might
is.
increase it if you're not careful. If you don't freeze to death. But maybe we need to stand up to these heating companies and be like, hey, I'm not tolerating this no more.
Yeah. Also, you don't have to let them in when they come and read the meter.
No, you can say,
You just say, oh, it's not my house. Sorry, mate. I can't let you in.
fuck off, mate.
Yeah. We used to
I
do it all
ain't
the
showing
time.
you nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't live here. That's my catchphrase.
I don't live
I
here.
don't live here.
It's Ethan. I don't live here, Smith.
When he's hidden under his bed.
Yeah.
I don't live it. So, in terms of complaints, then, isn't it like we've got that?
I have a complaint.
Oh,
I have a complaint.
We've been dealing them with them, haven't we?
No.
Okay, go ahead,
So
mate. Go ahead.
today-
You
we
go.
know where this is going.
Today I cleaned the kitchen.
Okay.
Right. I cleaned the kitchen. I cleaned the upstairs bathroom. I worked really hard. I put everybody's clothes out. I put the heating on. Dried them all. Record time. Probably about 25 minutes per load. Just really got them real
Called the
dry.
Guinness World Book of Records.
And then Dom decided to come home and make the largest Chinese meal ever and throw it all over the walls.
And then cleaned it up.
But not well.
I did.
You did the most half-assed cleaning.
Hang on, I said-
one time. Because you went like this with a sponge, and then threw it at the sink and walked away like
Yeah.
you're in some kind of action film.
hang on. You made a comment about that. I said, are you annoyed by that? And you said, no, it's okay.
Yeah, I lied,
Oh.
and I was holding it in for this moment right now. So
Smart.
What the
He's
fuck
holding
you
in
gonna
for
do about it?
content.
Well, I wanted backup really, because I've noticed you can't cook without. You just get it in the fucking pan which you're using. Why is
He's
it gotta
right.
be all around the thing? I don't know what's going on.
Keep
Put
saying
in
it,
the
brother.
pan.
Never
Yeah.
said-
And then also things can go directly in the machine.
Hell
for
yeah!
washing.
Put him in the machine, baby.
I
why
do-
Why
I
is
do-
he sitting in the sink waiting for
Smelling,
God?
Stinking it up.
Do you know what's interesting? When you moved here, you were so messy.
Yeah.
And now you've had like a week of cleanliness and you're like coming at me.
Yeah, he's
That's it.
changed.
No,
he's
it's
a
like,
changed
you
man.
just got out of prison. You're like, oh, I'm changed now. I can't.
Exactly.
No, you can't do that.
No, I can't.
No.
I just did.
You're still on community service.
well,
You've left prison. You're on your community service. Get
first of
off.
all, I weren't
Get
that
off
bad.
your high
I
horse,
weren't that
mate.
messy. I think one or
You were
two
so
nights-
you got pissed one night, cooked a whole curry, and then just put it in the sink.
I was doing a Dom Hatton Woods. That's what
I don't
was
do
doing.
that.
That's exactly.
Well, I
You
get
two
pissed and
both
cook a curry.
You two both cook a lot of curries. I forgot. I mean, we all know this.
Go on.
I talk about this on stage. You know,
Yeah.
you're always cooking curries. You know,
Well, it's low effort. You know.
there's a constant
skill.
curry here. I feel like I'm living in Bangladesh.
Well, they're mainly Thai
Except
curries.
Bangladesh should probably be cleaner, and at least it would be less expensive.
He's full of them. today.
Yeah, no. I've been trying to expand
But
from curries, but I don't want to make things in extra pots, man. Curries are great because
a one-pot dish.
I bought a rice cooker. I've been wanting to talk about that.
Can I just say one more thing that pisses me off about Dom?
Fucking hell! This is the Kill the Dom podcast.
Because I don't know exactly what every slow cooker recipe is like.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that you use like a full cadre, a full selection of pots and pans and equipment, and you cook the whole meal, and then you put it in the slow cooker.
That's just
Just put the ingredients in the slow cooker. That's all you need to do. That's
just
the whole
what
point.
the Kitchen Sanctuary Nikki on YouTube says
Yeah,
to do.
don't
So I'm
listen
doing what
to
Nikki says
that
to do.
fucking bitch.
But to be fair to me, I haven't used.
Cut that out.
Since when I moved there, I found the slow cook, used it a few times, and I haven't really used it
Found
since.
that.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Well, you had a go at me for using it, so I stopped using it.
He made a beef stroganoff.
You made a comment. I even bought a cookbook. Haven't cooked anything from it.
Well, this
Thank
is what
God.
also, Dom. Sorry, I'm going in at you. But you like to have the video playing
Yeah.
while you cook.
Yeah.
Where can you not just like Google the ingredients?
No, I like to watch
Oh,
the
he's
video.
gone
You
too
like to
far.
watch the
He's
video.
gone too far. Can't believe you stopped my man from playing his videos. While
Yeah.
It's always like
You walk around the house watching Kill Tony.
Okay, now this is all personal preference. You can't have a go. We all listen to our little stories when we're making stuff. Okay, I like to play my
I'll
little
take it back.
basketball.
And this
video.
morning I
Apologize.
walked into the kitchen. You're playing Jordan Peterson.
Well, yeah.
There's no order.
I had to learn.
And
I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to figure stuff out.
And
It
I'm just
wasn't
trying to
just
cook a chow mein.
It wasn't just Jordan Peterson. It was Jordan Peterson and his daughter,
And Piers Morgan.
And Piers Morgan.
interviewed by Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did tell him to watch
It was rough. I didn't say anything, but it was a tough
Well, his
crossover.
daughter's hot.
Okay.
She's nice looking, but I wouldn't say she's like if I met her, I'd be like, oh, this girl's attractive, and then I think if I talked to her for 5 minutes, I'd be like, oh god.
And then she'd go
here we
into
go.
it. She'd go into Weekend with Rum and
she's a-
FaceTime my dad and be like, look at this. There's no order.
Why does she have the same voice
Dunno.
as the dad?
Can't wait to see Dom's sketch show where every character is
It's
Jordan
Jordan
Peterson.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm building a sketch at the minute actually at uni.
yeah,
We're doing TV comedy, so we're doing a sitcom with Vince.
yeah, with Vince.
And Vince is doing the voice of Jesse from Breaking Bad. It's really funny. He's really good at it, man.
I've met this guy once. He does impressions.
Very good.
He did
right,
stand up
okay.
at your
Vince.
show
Mm.
a year and a half ago or so. I'm like, why isn't he back? Why isn't he around? I love impressions.
Yeah, he hasn't
Yeah.
done any since. And he said that you said his Russell Brand impression was amazing.
I gave him loads of compliments. I was
Yeah.
like, you did really well. I love it. Impressions are cool. I think we need some more people doing impressions on the scene.
Old school.
He hasn't come
He's
around.
not doing it.
Old
no.
school comedy.
It's a
Shame.
shame.
Vince, if you're watching it, get down to the open mic.
You know what, Vince? It's too late. Don't come around.
Yeah.
Get
All right?
out of here. No, we'd love
Get
to
out.
see you.
Fuck off.
I gave you your chance.
You had your chance.
As if I imagine if
There was no order.
I stood up at the open mic. I'm like, you're not coming in.
And then he'd do an impression of you.
I have no control.
Yeah. You were going to say something, I feel.
But I've forgotten it ages ago.
It's a shame.
Well, I think that was a good amount of complaint. I mean, I think, I'm happy with that.
I haven't got any complaints, but I've been fucking roasted. So. Well, I kind of complain back at you, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do either of you watched Only Fools and Horses?
Yeah.
Only
yeah, I've
snippets.
watched it. Yeah.
Do you know who Uncle Albert is?
Uncle Albert, he's not the granddad.
Well, he was the Granddad's the first one, and then Granddad dies, and they replace the character with Uncle Albert. He's got a massive white beard,
Yeah.
and he's like the character's like he was in the Navy, and they always find him boats and that. So I found a thing recently. I think it's around at the moment. Is that he's like the actor who plays him is like mega hench.
Oh.
Yeah,
What?
Like me.
no, like
Oh.
because he's an old man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was old when that show aired.
Is that not Captain
Look
Like
how
2
ripped
years
he is.
ago.
Look,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
yeah, he's
Jesus
absolutely
Christ, bro.
ripped, like proper.
He's in great shape.
Yeah, man. Wouldn't
How
you
old
love
is
to
he?
be a balding, bearded guy with an absolutely ripped body?
You could be in about
I think-
5 years if you work out.
I'm far away from that. I don't have any of those three things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm
Got
never going to
strong
look like
hairline.
that. I'm too tall.
It's true.
I'm never going to look. That's like a man who's 5'6", and
He
is
looks
just tonk.
frightening.
I feel like
I
I'm
wouldn't
in
go
a
that
race
far.
against time because my hairline's going back and I've only got so much time to get as buff as I can.
You need to get ripped.
Yeah.
You should. You could be him.
Yeah, it could be.
You could be that guy.
I know.
Bald head, beard, because your beard looks like it'll be all right in a couple of years.
I could get beard
Bald
going.
head,
Yeah.
beard, ripped.
Ripped.
That's what you should be.
Tattoos.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Of
Up the
course.
neck, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Vests.
And then I
But-
can tell people I've done time.
Yeah,
You're not
well.
going to get that if you keep
long
eating
socks.
ice cream.
Yeah, I'm not eating ice cream. You're the
I'm
one with
eating
the
ice
ice cream
cream.
problem at the moment.
I've had
Dom.
2 pots of ice cream. 1.5 pot. No, 2.5.
The other
pots.
day, he had a pot of ice cream, and then he looked at me and he went, "Do you want some ice cream?
And you went, yeah.
Maybe we should go and buy some more." He bought a second pot of ice cream. Yeah.
And then
maybe.
we watched Slow Horses.
Yeah, it was actually great. It was
It's a great night.
Okay, so you got one. This is from. We got sent this question from our listener, Buster Merrifield,
Oh,
who says,
hi Buster. Nice to see you.
Thanks for
the
listening.
ride.
"Oh, all right, guys, I love the podcast.
Keep it going.
If you could only have one ingredient in the fridge, what would it be, and why?"
It's interesting.
Okay. I think as well, I noticed when doing the editing, you should at least pretend to be reading it off the phone, because if you look into space while doing it, it makes it obvious that nobody cares about this podcast. If we could have one ingredient
Why did you say that?
in the fridge.
Go on.
Just ruined it completely. Do you want to do that again and we'll cut it out?
No.
Oh, fucking hell.
Please,
Just authenticity
No
here.
one's- No one's
This
going
is
to
too
listen this
much.
far.
No one's going to listen this far.
One ingredient.
One ingredient.
I think Dom's would obviously be ice cream.
One thing. Yeah. Not
No,
even
no, no.
ingredient,
But in
but
the
like
fridge
one.
though as well, because you can't keep ice cream in a fridge. It's too warm.
I will include freezer.
Okay. Oh, if freezer's involved, that changes the game.
Fridge freezer.
But you've got to live off it for the rest of forever.
You've just got to like live off it for like just like for a week or like a few days.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
all right. Just thinking about the situation.
It
So
doesn't
the
have. Don't
situation
think
afterwards.
too much about like living off
Do
it.
you
and
have to
subsisting
buy
off
it as cost factor?
Or
Or is
no,
it,
it can be any price.
Oh right, okay.
well, then I'd have like a proper nice steak.
Yeah,
Steak.
just a big piece of beef.
Just like every day, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Quite good for you. Is that what you were going to say?
no,
Oh.
I was going to say something fun and better.
Oh. We can still do that.
I was going to say potato smiley faces.
Yeah.
Because that is the
Would
interesting...
potato waffles count as the same?
Well, no. There's a distinct difference between the smiley face and the waffles. Smiley faces are fluffier. You know, the better. You could fry them.
I'll add something in. You can swap ingredients with the other housemates.
Oh, wow. So we've got steak, potato smiley faces. That's a meal.
What would you have?
Broccoli.
Broccoli.
That's a meal.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's healthy.
We
as well.
galvanise through this mission. Do you know what's interesting about you? I will
Thanks.
say is
Okay.
you sometimes
say.
I
You
will
will
say
say.
yeah. Sometimes you cook like a really elegant meal and it's like wow, the fact is that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's really talented.
skilled.
And then sometimes you eat like a child.
Yeah,
Like you'll have like a really nice curry and the next day you just had like fish fingers and baked beans.
yeah, I did. Yeah, today.
Yeah, you did. You microwaved sausages in beans.
Yeah.
Not like the Heinz one in the can, but just some random sausages inside some random
well,
beans.
You eat like-
I bought them together.
Oh, really?
Then Morrison's.
Oh, is that a Morrison special?
Yeah,
Like posh version. of-
yeah. Well, not
Franken
posh.
beans.
Yeah, it's the cost version. It's like it's cheaper than
the
Heinz.
sausages were big.
The sausages were great in that they were real authentic.
You eat like your mum's got to
Sausages.
whip you up a meal before she takes you to football practice.
Yeah,
That's what
well,
it's like.
you know what the problem is. I keep spending loads of money on the first meal. Gets to the end of the week.
So it's a
I'd
financial
argue
thing.
if you
I've
cook
got-
a
yeah.
huge batch of curry, that could last you like 3 days. Probably
Could
cheaper.
do, yeah. Could do, Dom.
Then you give a
Someone
half to
stop
me.
taking my fucking curry.
Yeah, but you always make big batch meals and they're gone.
He eats because
true.
he eats them all in one day.
Yeah.
You'll have so
You
you'll
do eat quite a lot. I thought I ate a lot, but because you eat these big batches, you eat a lot, but you don't seem to put any weight on. So.
No.
But I work out a lot.
Oh, wow. Well done.
And I track my calories. Yeah, you.
All
Good.
right. That was satisfactory.
It was good.
Yeah.
Oh, difference of opinion.
I
What
thought
do you
it
think?
was amazing.
There we go. At least nobody thought it was under
We're
satisfactory.
working our way up.
Thank you very much for listening and watching our podcast, and we'll see you again for the next episode. Take care. Peace.
Like,
Kill those
subscribe,
landlords.
comment, join the Patreon.
Tell your mum, tell your cousin who
I've already
lives
told you all,
abroad.
Yeah.
All right, cheers everyone.
See you later.